Surprised to see me again for the next guide? Well, maybe you're not because you probably watched the update video. But in case you're not, I'm gonna go and build into this. You see, I fear that Strike has died. True story, I haven't talked to him for like a good month. But actually, you know what? Let me actually check this out. Let me call him. You know, this is some inside video shit right here, alright? There's not every day when I actually sit here and actually call someone while recording the video. I don't think I've actually made a video of me doing that before. But, you know, this calls for the moment. See, I'm not lying.
Hello?
Hi, are you dead?
No, I'm alive and well.
Alright, thanks. That's all I wanted to know. See? He's not dead. Which is surprising. I think he's dead. Probably is. Whatever. But let's do the video. Warning. Guy may not be 100% accurate towards the character who is being talked about. Reason being is because myself or Strat may not give a damn about the character. You have been warned, I guess. Okay, so now we got Assassin's Creed up in here. Well, only with the Berserk looking form. I mean, he has a sniper too, but it doesn't even look like a sniper. It's like a cannon sniper. You know what? Let's just get to the story. Or backstory. Oh, and small note, I'm going to start with the side stories first since they technically start before the backstories. In a way. I mean, it kind of depends on the character, but for most characters, the side story will be started first since it technically, chronically, starts before the backstory is introduced, which means it should go back to there. I lost myself a bit in that conversation, but you get the gist of it. So, Chung's side story, The Boy's Resolution, reveals that his father, Helput, worried he wouldn't have an heir to continue the family lineage. He was one day blessed with having Prince, whose nickname is Chung. Fancy that. The people feared Chung wouldn't be fit for the throne since he was often sick when young and looked like a girl. I mean, come on, look at that face. Helpwood would also retort, saying Chung would be the greatest in the family's history and often got advised to rethink that. Moving on, it's told that the boys of the Psycho family received the Guardian Stone, a stone that resonates and grants its master with weapon and armor when they're born. That wasn't the case with Chung, as Helpwood pushed it till he was 8 years old, since it's a once-in-a-lifetime moment, apparently. He kind of went into description about it, but I'm not even gonna go to that. Fast forward a bit more, it's told that Chung was bullied for being the son of Helpwood, yet being weak and looking like a girl. He runs off to the forest and reassures himself that with hard work and dedication, he can prove to the others that he's worthy of being Helpwood's son. Which happens to backfire, since he doesn't have the strength or stamina to keep up the training, which end up lowering his spirit even more. Like, fuck. Helpwood pulled Chung off to the side one day and told him a story about a sick and weak boy who became Himel's greatest leader, which turned out to be himself. He then told Chung that he believes that he'll become a greater warrior than him, which reawoke that hope that was lost before inside Chung. Side story ends right there, with Chung getting his armor and weapon and essentially becoming reborn. Or, that's how you put it anyway. And then his backstory goes into the dawn of Himmel. Demons invade Himmel, run into bribing Helpwood to join them. Chung fights, Chung loses, and the L-Game saves him. Cool. Alright, so with that out of the way, you now know what time it is. This is when we all go into the part where we talk about the unique system that this character has, because it's the first time we'll be introducing him to the guide. So, let's turn to Chung's. Chung's unique system is called Free-to-Near. I honestly, every time I look at this word, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's either Fruitinier or Freetinier, whatever. So you got cannonballs or ammunition and Berserk mode, which is technically the first one to bring it in. Then goes, you know, Ara, Ad, Raven, Eve, Ein, and yeah, that's it, I believe. In the order in which it came from. I went with the character who came out and then the system when it was introduced. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so as I said before, his unique skill is called Free-to-Near, but I like to classify it as Destroyer and Free-to-Near. Destroyer for the cannonballs part and Free-to-Near for the Berserk part. Why I say that is because they're technically two different things, but they could be one thing. I'm only saying that because I'm a nerd, but that's beside the point. So cannonballs are things that Chung can use and his combos and his skills. It's a way of his character actually. You can't go through a Chung without using cannonballs. Trust me, you cannot. I tried. Especially with Deadly Chaser. I just tried to remain on my pistols. Did not work out. Alright, so say for example you want to use an X move. The last X I believe will require you to use a cannonball or you'll just shoot a blank. Like, it's nothing. You don't even do any damage. It just looks right there. It's like, oh fuck, I'm out of cannonballs. And then you get your ass kicked. To reload, you either have to just stand still or use it in combos. An easy one is that right there. It's actually a loop, depending on how you do it. And there's also passive that, like, you know, make this go faster. There's even an active cop reload that reloads it automatically for you. Just press it, he whisks his can up, Leo! There you go. And then there's Berserk mode. You get your 3 awakening bees, you see the chains on the third one go away, you awaken, and now you're in Berserk mode. It's different from being normally awakened and Berserk. See, with Berserk, you have unlimited cannonballs, no matter how many you have. You do get passives that increase the number that you can carry. Your appearance or portrait also changes too. And Chung starts to yell his skills out instead of saying them just calmly, because, you know, that's also a thing too. I think he's the only one. No, he's not the only one to do it. I know Ayn does it as well. I'm not entirely sure about Aura. I haven't played that much of her, honestly, so I can't say for sure on that. Oh, and before I forget, Chung also has a thing called Heavy Stance, which is unique to him. You see, it's like super armor, but fuck you. Whenever Chung gets in, he has a blue outline around him. He will go into a little guarding stance, and with this stance, he has 2 options. He can either press X to blast you away with his cannon on both sides, or Z to smack you in the face with his cannon. Now, other Chung classes like Iron Paladin and Tactical Trooper will get the full usage out of this, but we're Deadly Chaser, so we only get the basic shit right here. We're basic bitches in this case. And now for the first special active, Scare Chase. You slam your cannon down, reloading it, you shoot a homing missile, which homes like hell. Oh my god, like seriously. Alright, so if it's not going after a barricade or some type of box that has an item in it, it's damn sure going after your opponent. And because of the freeze that is included with the skill, they're not getting away. They can't even move for a good period of time until the missile hits someone. And fuck that, its homing is the only good thing. And now for an active that nobody asked for, Backblast. You shoot at the ground, you jump back, and you create some iframes for yourself. Yeah, the damage barely changes between now and 72 once in hand, so get this shit out of here. Now for the active that I mentioned in the unique system, Reload. Or Reload Cannon as it's called on the wiki. You swing your cannon upward and you reload, basically. Apparently when it's enhanced at level 73, it reloads 3 cannonballs instead of 1. But I usually drop it before then, because you usually get the passives that increase the amount that you reload from doing basic stuff. So what's the point at that point? And now for another active, which is pretty damaging because of how you can use it. Siege Selling. Yes, Siege Selling. Yes, Siege Selling. Sorry, I PTSD a little bit. What you do is you put your sword into a position and then you aim at your targets. You press X, you shoot cannonballs up to 7 and it penetrates to 1 enemy. So stop at the second one. If you press Z, you're going to go and do a little swing, which ends the skill no matter how many you have. And if you run out of cannonballs, you'll automatically do it as well. If not, you'll just shoot a final shot, which does extra damage. I'll just let the reaction tell you how much Siege Selling is a pain. Especially with Shelling Guardian and Tactical Trooper. Now we have Lunatic Blow, a skill when you slam the cannon on the ground multiple times in order to create chains of explosions. It uses up to 6 cannonballs, 3 at minimum, I believe. Apparently this skill is like, the damage can be boosted by Tactical Trooper's red cannonballs, but we're not talking about that motherfucker right now. That's about it though. Every single slam that he does uses up a cannonball, so And now we have Akli Dama. Do not ask me about the pronunciation. You turn your back or you turn forward depending on how you are, and you shoot multiple missiles in the air and just stand there posing like a champ as they go off. That's about it. It honestly doesn't seem like it's that strong. It's pretty much for an AoE, so do what you want with that. And now for that lot skill viewer's aiming shot. You literally just shoot at the nearest target using a cannonball. I mean, I guess it's kind of damaging, but I don't care for this skill. It's just a waste. And now you are done with base. You are now a shooting guardian because you went through the quest, because it's pretty easy. So good job. Chung decides, hey, I'm not a girl. He spikes his hair, he shortens his cannon, and he gets himself a gun. Because who doesn't like guns? Sorry, I like guns. No, let's go. And now let's get started on those combos. You have 3. Basic gun stance, missile crasher, and rapid fire. With basic gun stance, you do your standard cannon slam with X, but if you press Z now, you'll do 3 gunshots, or pistol shots as I like to call it, and then with that next Z, you'll do a cannon shot. This is a nice little thing. You can actually chain the X and Z together. You don't even have to worry about the cannon shot, because it's whatever, and it slows down the pacing. And then there's Missile Crash. You do a dash jump into the air, ZX. With Z, you do the standard raise your cannon into the air and do some damage. With X, you launch out missiles. It doesn't have to hit a target because it will get stuck into the ground and explode, but it's like very close together. So, I mean, you can use this combo. I don't really care for it because it's Comet Crasher, but light. Comet Crasher is coming up soon. And then there's Rapid Fire, which, Cog, I am looking at you with a stern face on this one. And you dash into your opponent, and you use ZX, and then you rapidly tap X. Now, see, the thing with this is that when you do the skill, you pull out not one, but two pistols. You're not supposed to get the second pistol until you are Deadly Chaser, which is the next one at 35. Cog, what the fuck are you doing? I need answers right now, my mans. I need the answers to this. Alright, so why exactly would you put this in his combo pool right here? Why not put it as Deadly Chaser? I know you have a skill for Shooting Guardian, which was originally there, but you moved it for some reason, and you added Rapid Fire right there. Like, what the fuck is this shit? At the end, you do a headshot. You can end it early by pressing Z in the middle of the rapid tap of the X. So keep that in mind, I guess, if you really want to. Usually you could just do the combo or cancel it out with another skill like active or special active. It's up to you. Mistakes made aside, we now have to go and look at our new skills. It's a good thing about advancing in our jobs. First is an active called Headshot. And we've already seen Headshot because, hey, it's in Rapid Fire, which is not supposed to be here. Anyways, you pull out your pistol and you shoot forward and it does damage. That's about it. It's literally the same as it is in Rapid Fire. Not gonna get into that. So, there's not much to say on this. Now we have a special active, which I still think is cool to this day. It's called Dual Buster. You leap forward and you shoot 2 bullets backwards. This is not him shooting with 2 guns, which would be dual. He's just shooting twice, bringing up the dual. Apparently the final enhancement of this allows you to do it again with 50% of the usage for the MP. But I haven't done it yet. Oh, and when you're awakened, it penetrates through more than just one. It's actually infinite apparently. But the max 6 is still 2. And you do reload. So it's cool. Oh, small note too. It actually goes into the fact that it reloads. Back in the day when Chung first came out and skill notes were still a thing, there was a skill note that you can get that would actually have it reload every time you use the skill, and now it's just included in the skill. So it's like, well, fuck skill notes. Then again, they got removed, so fuck skill notes. Going on next is also another special active, but it's more so a buff. It's called Sharpshooter Syndrome. You put your gun to the air while standing all coolly like, and you let out an aura that grants your allies a sharpshooter vision buff. What this does is that it increases your crit and additional damage by 20%, gives you a headshot chance by 15%, which is pretty much just all of your shots have a chance to do double damage, and it lasts for 30 seconds. I mean, I take it along even to this day, but you know, it doesn't do much for damage. It's mainly just there for the buff. And now for another special active called Deadly Shot. You fire a highly compressed bullet that does not explode but only hits one opponent and deals more damage the longer it travels. This uses a cannonball, so I'm guessing you mix the cannonball with the gun. I mean, not the gun. You mix the cannonball with a bullet and you do more damage. I mean, so I don't care for this skill, honestly. It does a lot of damage, I'll get that, but just go away. And now for a pretty damaging special active. This one doesn't get me as hyped as Double Slash, but hey, it does a shit ton of damage. Artillery Strike Quantum Ballista, which used to be on the Shelling Guardians tree instead of Shooting Guardians, but hey, we take it. So yeah, use your arrow keys to find your target, mark them, and then shoot a massive fucking nuke on their face. Oh my god, this damage is just mwah. My dude, my guy, my friendo. You're my friendo today. It doesn't matter how long you, well actually no, it does matter how long you aim your thing, because it does have a time limit. You don't see it, but it is there. It does exist, and you can potentially fail to hit your target if you do not get your mark right away. It's actually pretty easy to aim and shoot, and well, the damage is definitely satisfying. And now we have another locked skill called Trick Shot. You shoot 2, I always thought it was 1, but apparently it's 2 bullets at the ground, which bounce to become 2 It hits your target which applies most slowdowns. It's that little snail that you see up there. Now what it does is it gives them minus 40% movement speed and minus 15% jump speed, which lasts for 7 seconds, 9 seconds if it's enhanced, and hey, it's good. Passive sound, we have Remodeled Rifle, which enhances your pistol's abilities and increases the crit damage and the range of your bullets. Remodeled Magazine, which increases your cannonball capacity and makes it so that you have a chance to reload an extra cannonball or 2 or 5 or 7. That's a lie. But it does increase the chance to reload an extra one. And now you are done as a shooting guardian, so now it's time to become a deadly chaser. Chung says, fuck 1 gun, why not 2? He gets 2, he puts on a new helmet, he is now a deadly chaser. That's it. That's it. He wanted to be faster, so he made 2 pistols. Good job. Define, that's nice. Let's go. So now we have 4 new gun combos to add to our little gunplay. Advanced Gun Stance, Dual Aerial Fire, Surprise Return Fire, and Bullet Barrage. With Advanced Gun Stance, your X turns to a gunshot instead of slamming down your cannon, and then your Z's afterwards do go faster than it would before. You don't sit there and shoot 1 gun, you actually pull out 2 guns now and shoot because hey, you're a deadly chaser, you have 2 guns. Cool. Also, something worth noting, you can easily chain this into a combo and keep it going. All you have to do is time your X and Z's and continue holding forward. You will just repeatedly chain it. Alright, and then there's also Dual Aerial Fire, which used to be in the fucking shooting guardian. You dash up into the air and press X, that's where you blow your way up into the air using your cannon. And then you shoot down 2 bullets each every time you press X again, to a maximum of 5 times, so 10 shots in total if they all hit. It's useful. It does have its various usage, so And then we have Surprise Return Fire, which also used to be on the fucking shooting guardian. Dash towards the enemy, you press S. That's when you do the basic cannon blast from behind. And then you end off with shooting 2 shots from your silver shooter, and then ending it with sending a missile at them. You can easily chain it by not doing the ending with the missile and just, doing something else. Literally, you could just do anything else and they'll just chain. And then we have Bullet Barrage, which is the last one. I honestly wanted this to be better, but we have Rapid Fire, so I'll make do with that. Damn near the same thing. You do 2 Z's and you add an extra amount of X's to continue on with the Bullet Barrage. Afterwards, you will shoot a missile into the air, which would hit the target, in theory. The skill is honestly not one that I see used very often because of how it is. I mean, he shoots up at an arc, and that arc is really not reliable because if the target's right in front of you, chances are, if they don't get hit by that cannon swing into the air, then they won't get hit by the fucking hits of the silver shooters. So, if you use on a large target, then the bullets will hit them and then go straight forward. It won't continue going in that arc, it will go straight forward. And the missile will still go at the arc, but just use Rapid Fire. It's so much easier and way better. So we first got Shooting Star. You lift your cannon up, shoot multiple missiles, and they home your target. You shoot up to like 12 when normally, just doing the normal. 15 when awakened, and yeah, that's about it. It's 300 skill. You can use it up close on a single target so all the missiles hit if you really want to. That's all I got. And then we got Rumble Shot, which I believe was 1 slot or something like that. I might be thinking of something completely different. But you point at the ground your cannon and shoot a chain of explosions that will push your target forward. It can be used like on a platform and push and continue going in the air. It's kind of stupid looking, but whatever. The final enhancement reduces knockdown by 2, so it's good for PvP. I don't take it PvE or PvP. Then again, I barely PvP anymore with my Deadly Chaser, so yeah. Next up is Heavy Railgun, and if you know what a railgun is, you already know that this hits like a truck. You shoot a truck forward that does heavy damage, obviously, and apparently the explosion causes twice as damage. Now, even if the enemy doesn't get hit by the explosion, that fucking truck shot from just the missile will do a lot of damage from there. But the explosion is like the killing blow, I suppose. Going on to this, we now have Rapid Cannon. You, as the name suggests, rapidly shoot out cannonballs. You use up to 6 cannonballs, with the minimum being 3 unless you get the Awaken trait, which makes it sub-magazine, in which case you can shoot out 8 instead, but still the minimum stays 3. And now we have Bullet Blitz, a skill that shows off the magic in Magical Bullet. You shoot a bullet that chains up to 5 times on a single target, and 12 if it's ricocheting off multiple targets. It's actually pretty damn good. and pretty reliable to take for PvE and PvP. I know I make sure to bring this along every single time. And now we have Comet Crasher, which is Missile Crasher Senpai. You jump into the air and just like Missile Crasher, shoot down multiple bombs. Uses 3 at the minimum, 6 at most, and it does a good amount of damage. The final blast is what you're looking for because the cannonball damage and the shell damage and the final shell, just physical, is not too bad. It's decent, I guess. It's more so about the magical blast rather than the physical hits. It's a good little PvE thing to take along too. Back to passives, and we first got Intense Showdown, which increases your abilities while in Berserk. Gives you some MP usage reduction and cooldown reduction. Now, your hyperactive and marriage skill aren't affected by the cooldown reduction, but your hyperactive is affected by the MP reduction. And then we have Tussle Technique, which gives you 3 things to use in your disposal. Increased attack speed, some knockdown reduction, and a chance to go berserk from any bead, fever, or an awakening potion that you use. Here it goes for the percentage and stats. And then we have Gas Piston System, which is your locked passive. Gives you the chance to automatically load cannonballs when you use the ammo, which pretty much means that they will stay in your magazine even though you used it. So you can use 3 and it will still have 3 depending on if you hit all the percentages right. And it also increases your crit rate, so hey, that's pretty neat. And to end things off for that Deadly Chaser experience, we now have Outrage Strike, even though it sounds like Outrageous Strike. Ugh, this skill, well, it's a hyperactive, so of course it's going to be hype, but I used to like it a lot, but nowadays it's just like, oh hey, hyperactive, I'm just going to use it on the boss so, you know, maximize damage. You shoot out a shit ton of missiles, well not really, I shouldn't exaggerate. You shoot out multiple missiles that stay in the air somehow, and then you use your pistols to detonate them. The skill is actually the 2nd highest Chung hyperactive skill, clocking in at 22,160% magical damage. I honestly have nothing else to say about this. And now, it's time to transcend and see the rest of the skills that lie dormant. And with Deadly Chaser, well, it didn't quite meet my expectations, but oh well, let's go see them. So first we have Shooting Blind, a skill where you shoot repeatedly with no mind or reason, and it actually looks pretty cool. And sounds like it's shooting water guns, but we won't get into that. That's a little inside joke. But this skill is actually pretty unique because you can use it again within 2 seconds of first using it. It takes up the same amount of MP, but if you use it while awakened, you can get a lot of MP back and use less MP than you would usually. And if you are hitting the targets right, and you know, got a good group to shoot them at because it penetrates through a lot, it maxes out and gets you even more MP than what you bargained for. And you can repeatedly use the skill, then chain it to use it even more by using MP pots. But hey, it's actually my favorite skill for Transcendence, and that's saying so little, seeing as though there's only like 3 more. So yeah. And then as your active, we have Stun Shot, which, as the name suggests, you shoot the target and they get stunned. The stun lasts for 2 seconds and it's not all that impressive. And then there is Exciting Crash. You shoot your target with a cannonball and they receive a Silver Shooter's Mark debuff, which increases the amount of awakening charge that you gain per hit. The amount that you gain is 225%, which lasts for 10 seconds. Now it does a lot of damage, 3,594 to be exact, but just how it looks is so bland. Also uses up a cannonball, but I'm guessing you already assumed that. And then as a 300 skill for your Transcendence experience, you have Burning Punisher, which I honestly wanted to be so much better. It's so underwhelming. Like, come on now, you jump into the air and you just fire down relentlessly on your targets, and it's like, when I first got it, it looked so cool. I was like, yo, this is awesome. But then as I continue using it, it's like less and less appealing to me. I honestly dislike it so much now because it does like shit damage. 617% magical, as you can assume, because you're a magic class. And it does 11 hits. But it's so fucking weak. So what's the point? Okay. Now on to the passives. Awakened Will, Deadly Chaser. What this does is MP usage for bullets are reduced, attacks that involve using your pistols will reduce the cooldown for all related skills, and successful hits with your bullets now give you a Silver Blessing buff. The buff gives you a 20% increase with your bullets. So it lasts for 5 seconds, so it's neat, I guess. And then your universal buff, Awakened one. So here you go. And then your final passive, which honestly is not something to be, all excited over. You can honestly just skip past this one and you'll be fine either way as a Deadly Chaser. Endless Chase increases the home range of Scare Chase, Shooting Star, and Bullet Blitz. It also increases the number of missiles shot from Shooting Star, and Bullet Blitz is also increased. Now, the homing range is increased by 15%. With Shooting Star, you get 3+ missiles. Bullet Blitz, you hit 6 times with a single target and 14 times with multiple targets. It's not even that good of a goddamn passive. It's actually pretty terrible. It just increases it by 1 target for Bullet Blitz and also 2 targets for multiple hits, and it gives you 3+ missiles, which really don't make much of a difference. And then there's also that 15% range increase. No. Alright. Skills and all that aside, I now need to talk about how this character is in PvE and PvP. So, okay. PvE Deadly Chaser is pretty good. He has a wide variety of AoE skills, and his bullets do like ricochet off multiple targets. They're magical bullets, so of course he can do something like that. He can solo play if he really wants to. He has some pretty high damaging and bossing techniques, so you know he's pretty good in that department. But he is also sort of lacking in damage, so he kind of works good as someone who can like execute small targets or help with the bossing technique, because you can easily take someone else who could do damn near the same thing and have a better effect and better proficiency. Deadly Chaser is not that strong. Then again, I do have a +8 cannon and I don't feel like getting it higher because fuck that shit. So that could be my reasoning as to why my Deadly Chaser is not that strong, but even then, he's not. It's whatever. PvP, I can't really say for sure on that one because I haven't PvP recently, and I think I'm going to stop doing that and just talk about my previous experience with the character. So I'm going to just start there. Yeah, so last time I PvP with Deadly Chaser, and you can see this on the screen right now, he was pretty good. I like, you know, he has some pretty nifty ways to set you up and combo you and stuff, but you know, he is also weak and stuff like that. But this Deadly Chaser did prove me wrong, so I guess, you know, he is it's kind of a little mixed opinion on that, but even aside, I guess he can work for PvP. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. And that is all I have. Wow, I hope that was quicker than the Lord Knight one, because that one was kind of establishing how this would go and all that, but this one kind of just went with the flow. So I'll just have to see for later. I'm trying to get more and more of these out, like 2 or 3 a month, so it's not like, you know, a big gap in between. I'm not entirely sure which character is next, so hey, you're in for a surprise now. Thank you all for watching, and bye. Go away. Hey, I'm here to give you a small little update. You see, that little closing there is a lie, because Persona 5 is out, and I'm kind of playing the fuck out of it. I got like 90+ hours into my first playthrough, so 2 or 3 a month is not going to happen due to the fact that I have to level them on both the original and Void. So yeah, just think about that. It'll come out soon.